All right, so I do want to give my view on something that it might be a little bit controversial, and that is why do people fail, or why will people fail from now on in this marketplace, especially, talking about developers and programmers and software developers and stuff like that. Now, I'm a Mr. Nobody, to be honest. I mean, I come from a completely different world. I come from sales, and now I'm transitioning into software development. But I did want to give my take on this because I think it's extremely, extremely important. And during my time in sales, I actually developed a great mindset, and I actually learned how to analyze people in a way to be able to understand how people actually work. And we always work in cycles. So we always repeat the same cycles until someone says, hey, you are going through this cycle. If you want to get out this cycle, at this step, you're going to have to do this. So that's what I kind of want to represent here. I want to give my take on why will people fail from now on. And if you have not been living under a rock, you have probably realized that there are a lot of AI tools coming out and a lot of actually negative news about AI taking over and leaving us with essentially zero jobs, and developers are going to cease to exist, especially junior developers, and within 5 years time every single person will be jobless because AI will have taken over. I mean, I don't think AI will take over every single job out there. I think AI is going to mutate the jobs that we have today, at least in the short term. I don't know, maybe in 10, 20, 50 years time, we're all happily living in nature and, building sheds and hunting animals, and we go back to the old age while AI is doing everything for us. I have no freaking clue if that's going to happen or not. But I do want to give my intake on this because I think it's actually a very interesting topic. So I have outlined 4 reasons that I think people will actually fail, especially in software development, especially junior developers getting into software development. I think the reason number 1 is going to be fear. They're going to allow fear to essentially take over them. All this negative news about AI taking over and replacing everyone, that fear is going to cause people not to want to get into a specific field, for example, software development, because they're thinking, okay, so if the AI can actually do this job faster than me, then what the hell am I actually doing in here? And they're going to steer away from getting into, for example, software development. Now, do I think that is a mistake? Yes, I do. I believe that you should just follow your passion and follow what you actually want to do in life, regardless of if an AI is capable of doing it better than you. At the end of the day, we're humans, and humans need humans. And if you have ever been on a phone with an AI, you have probably found yourself to be a little bit mad at it because you're not talking with a human. We actually like that human. We like human relationships at the end of the day, and we need that kind of human touch. So, do I think that it's a big mistake not going after what you want because AI can do it faster or supposedly better than you? Yes, I do think it's a mistake. And you should just go after what you really want to do. And if that is software development, like to me, it was software development. And I got into software development a few months ago. And, was I scared at the beginning? Yes, but then I realized, hell, I'm not going to let AI or the news dictate what I don't want to do. So, yeah, I think fear is going to be the reason number 1 why people will actually fail or stop doing what they actually enjoy doing. Now, reason number 2, especially in software development, is wrong expectations. We have heard all the cliches about, how if you go and sign up into a boot camp, within 6 months, you will be job ready and you will get a job at a big tech firm like Google, Meta, or Apple. I'm still waiting for Google, Meta, or Apple to actually get in touch with me. But I do think that is just, excuse my language, but I think it's just bollocks. To be honest, you're not job ready because you are doing a boot camp. You become job ready when you are putting yourself out there, when you are sharing your journey, and when you actually understand what goes behind coding an actual real application. Now, of course, you don't have to know everything because you're not going to be able to know everything about a specific programming language or about a specific company or how they work in teams, because it is actually impossible. But you can become valuable to companies by, sharing your journey, differentiating yourself from people. And don't get these wrong expectations in your mind that, if you go and sign up for a bootcamp, within 3 months or 6 months you'll be job ready. Okay, it doesn't work like that. Also, the third reason why I think people will fail is because they will get stuck in tutorial hell. And this is an actual real thing. A lot of people do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tutorials without actually creating a real app for themselves. And this gets worse. This gets worse with AI because at the end of the day, you're relying on the AI to code these apps for you, but you're not actually understanding what goes behind the language. You're not understanding, if you're creating a React app, why am I using useState? Why am I using useEffect? Why am I using, 10-stack query? If you don't know why you're using the things that you're using, and you can't actually sit down in front of your laptop or of your computer and actually code an app from beginning to end, you're just not going to be job ready. You're actually going to fail, okay? And the fourth reason why I think people will fail is because they're actually scared of failing. Now, this sounds very, counterintuitive. And a lot of people are scared to fail. And I want to point this out because a lot of people are scared to fail. They're scared of the pain that they experience when they go through failure, and they just avoid it. And this is super interesting because we don't want to fail. But in order to succeed, we actually need to fail. We need to fail, and we need to pick ourselves back up, and we need to try again and fail again, and learning the process. At the end of the day, that's what makes us humans. But with AI as well, and with social media and all this kind of stuff, we think that everything should be immediate. Now, everything is not immediate, especially when it comes to real life and, the real world and the job market. Things get brutal. You are going to fail. You're not going to get a job within 6 months. You might not even get a job within a year or two. But you need to actually not be scared of failing. If you fail, that is a good thing. That means you're learning, okay? So if I want you to take something away from this, is that you cannot be scared of failure. Failure is your friend, okay? Actually, failure is your friend. Without failure, you cannot actually succeed. Now, I know this has been a little bit not negative. I think it's important to bring it up. But I also want to give you a few tips on what you can do about it. If you do not want to fail, what can you do about it? So just do what you want to do. Now, don't be scared of external news and hype. Do what you actually want to do. What is your passion? If your passion is software development, just follow that goddamn passion. You don't have to be scared of AI coding 100 times faster than you can. Just actually go for what you actually want to do. As long as you find a way to provide value to companies, that is what companies actually reward. They reward people that can provide value. And if you use AI in your workflow in order to provide value to a company, that is great. But don't let AI scare you or trick you into thinking that you're worthless, okay? It is not like that. Also, set the right expectations for yourself. If you're learning to code, for example, don't think that you'll know everything within a year, okay? It takes time. It takes a lot of time. I started with JavaScript like nearly a year ago, and I still don't understand everything, and I still, screw things up. And it's just a process. It's just a continuous process that, you never stop actually learning about the language. You never stop, understanding new things about the language. But that is part of the process. And if it takes a year, it takes a year. If it takes 2 or 5, it takes 2 or 5. Okay, but don't set the wrong expectations. Set the right expectations from the get-go so you are actually set up for success and you don't get demotivated in the process, okay? Now, to avoid tutorial hell, just code, okay? Code, and code. Solve problems that you have through apps that you build for yourself. For example, I built this app. Now, let me pull it up here because it's called LinkedIn Generator, okay? And I had this massive issue, which was, I actually post a lot on LinkedIn as well. I'm very active there. And, well, at least I was. Now I'm kind of repurposing my profile to fit my new software development journey. But anyway, that is the story for another day. But I have always been very active on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn posts take a lot of time to write. Okay, you need to come up with ideas and then you need to write them. So I built that app, the one that I've just pulled up, the LinkedIn generator, to actually help me create LinkedIn posts. So you get in some post data, like a topic that you want the AI to create a post about, the tone, the length, and the context, and you click on generate, and the AI will actually spit out a post that is ready to copy and paste into LinkedIn. So this saved me a lot of time, and it actually helped me create LinkedIn posts much faster. And of course, you're not going to find this app in a tutorial. This was a problem that I had and that I knew I had to solve myself. And that is exactly what I did. I just figured out a problem that I had and I coded the solution myself, because I don't want to get stuck into tutorial hell. I actually want to code things that are useful for me. All right. And the last thing that you should do is actually accept failure. Like I said earlier, failure is your friend. You want to accept failure as part of the process. And just ask yourself, so what if you fail? Who cares? If you fail, you fail, okay? Just take the lesson from it, try again, and nobody is perfect, and failure is actually part of the process. And like I said, without failure, you cannot actually succeed, okay? So it doesn't matter if you fail once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, however many times you need to fail, okay? It does not actually matter. Failure is just part of the process, and if you fail, so be it, all right? So I hope you have taken at least some value out of this video, because I do think a lot of people will fail in the upcoming months and years because they're going to let fear and wrong expectations, in tutorial hell when it comes to programming, and people that are scared of failure and they're scared of failing. I think there are actually going to be lots of people that are going to fail because of these specific reasons, and I don't want you to be one of them. So yeah, just be prepared and remember that failure is your friend. And yeah, if you are interested in more kind of mindset programming videos, just hit that subscribe button, because I'll keep uploading some cool videos, some different videos that you're used to seeing. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one.